everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another Art Around the City Spotlight. This week, I'm joined by photographer Marilyn Whitworth-Soules. Thank you for being here, Marilyn. As a retired school counselor, Marilyn has been a keen observer of the world around us for many years. Her long relationship with the camera has been aided by art classes, workshops, and the opportunity to view classic and modern art through international travel. You can see a reproduction of Marilyn's artwork as a part of the Art Around the City project on the south end of Wenona Park near the Doubletree Hotel. And it's this beautiful image right next to me.
Yes.
And Marilyn's going to tell us a little bit about the work that she creates.
Thank you, Amy, and thanks to Studio 23 for all their support for the artists in the area and the state.
We appreciate all of our artists. Thank you.
It's a mutual admiration.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much. So I did want to talk about a little bit this piece that was selected. I had submitted some entries for the for this exhibit a year ago, and I did a series of botanical abstracts, and this was the one selected for the public art. How did it come to be? Well, I was driving down a side street and I caught sight of the color, light, and shadow in a late afternoon in October. So the leaves were on the ground. I turned around, got out of the car just to see what I could see. So both the shadow from the tree and the curved shadow create these lines to make an abstraction of an everyday scene and of nature. And it seems that is often what my eye catches. And it's a pleasant picture. I bring it out and have it at home on the mantle every fall now. It is a canvas print in a floating frame, 20 by 30. The art in the city is on a metal plaque along the river walk, as Amy just said. And I'm very, very proud to have that there. So when we think about process, my process, I look for perspective. I look for what's different or unusual, something in a look or a feature. And at times it would be like this. It would be an abstracted view. There are times I'm taking a picture of a scene or something, and it's like I know there's a picture in there and I'm not getting it. I'm not seeing it. And this was one that I saw and was able to capture. So I consider the outdoors and interiors. I consider objects and people watching, and monuments and the mundane. So here is one of people watching I was able to do in Ireland. It's a cheese shop, and what you don't see in this picture is there's a handsome young man having a conversation, and we're really liking the conversation he's having with this gal. That was a fun catch. And again, it's a moment. It's a momentary opportunity, and I snap it and I get it. So one of the questions we were asked is, well, why do you choose this medium? For me, it's lens work. And as Amy said, I really do look a lot. I'm a visual person. So I got my first camera in 1973. It was a used Pentax, one lens, and I was living by an Army base in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. At that time for us, slide film development was very affordable, so we took lots of pictures. Plus, I was in a completely different place at age 21, very different from our Great Lakes, different from the college campus I had left, and different from Metro Detroit area where I was raised. So I think having a curiosity and wanting to discover new things has really prompted my work. I've worked with a camera ever since, started taking classes and workshops here locally, Bay City and Midland, and began with black and white film and development in the darkroom. At that time, I had other cameras, a 35 millimeter with different lens sets. In one of those groups, I was invited to submit to a collective group show. So exhibiting takes my role as an artist to another level. First of all, it defines me as an artist when I see my work with others. But it is an experiential level too, that how I can take a picture in a moment, I can decide to mat it and frame it, and I do all that work myself, but seeing it with others really makes me look at my work and myself as an artist. It seems to expand the impact of the image, and I'm looking at my notes, excuse me. It expands that impact because it's a bit of a comparative, not competitive, although it's nice when you're awarded honors, but it's a comparative sense. You see that, I see that mine is not the best, but it's good. It's good enough to be with these other pieces. Also, I think when you exhibit, you get feedback. You get feedback as people regard it, make comments, and sometimes there's even a purchase, and that gives you very good feedback. Over the last 20 years, I've taken a variety of painting and drawing and Chinese calligraphy classes and art history classes, and all of that has really, again, expanded what I see when I'm looking. I've been able to visit museums and galleries often and take every chance I get to do that. One of the questions we were prompted with was to talk about your studio. What do you do in your studio? Well, currently I use a multifunction, better than average Canon point and shoot, and then my iPhone. So my studio is wherever I find myself, whatever I'm looking at. You might describe my style as realistic with minimal adjustments, no filters or Photoshop at all. And it's very often in the moment, as this one was here. Here's a picture of a nature abstracted too, that again, traveling in Ireland and walking inside this cairn, I zeroed in on that particular thing. So that was an in the moment. This one is a very intriguing picture. We were in Milan, and there's a big shopping galleria, old time, and I'm looking through the picture window of a Louis Vuitton exhibit, but it's getting the reflection of the wall behind me. And when this was exhibited, I can't tell you how often people would call me and say, "What was that, Marilyn? How did you do that? What was it?" But it truly was just a show window and that reflection. I really like that. Another moment was this, and again, I mentioned shape and form that I find, and this was happened to be in India, an open air forum, and just the cascading of that archway. This, very interesting, Clare County, been driving around and in Amish country and saw this field of wheat, hopped out of the car, walked around it, and so the clouds were of course very much a part of it, but the stalks of the hay that they cut, I found really, really intriguing. So as I'm somewhat sharing, some of it's local, fortunate that my opportunities are enhanced by travel. And I always love looking at the results, what I'm seeing. And as I've demonstrated, the play of light, shadow, shape, form, and color all come into my studio, if you will. As I mentioned a moment ago, I mount and mat and frame most of my photography. That allows me to present it in a customized or unique view that really can highlight the image. A few more nature pictures. This is a dahlia from here, or from Midland, at the Dahlia Hill. And I know that this picture was offered in a breast cancer awareness fundraiser and sold. Was an award winner in one exhibit. And then this too, a close-up of a leaf, was also given recognition at the Center for the Arts in a student art gallery, or student art show, pardon me. So, in addition to all of what I've shared with you, I really hope that the view through my lens work, the viewers can take away their own meaning and find some pleasure in it. And that's been my experience, and certainly I enjoy what I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Marilyn. It was a pleasure hearing you talk about your work.
Thanks.
And thank you everyone for tuning in.